Embiid, nice defense there on McDaniels, who's looking for a call. Good luck. Simmons tracking it down and somehow providing a finish. Come good soon enough, and sure enough, he did. Faked it and paid off. It's behind the back to Embiid. Joel getting his first bucket of the game. Embiid has already missed a couple of threes. There's Green, hits for a three. Got it. So Danny Green hits the glass. Sneaking up there. Trying to pass Joel's attention. He can do it.
Welcome in, everybody, to the second edition of Half Court Heat. I'm your host, Tony J. Talkatello, joined by my co-hosts, Mr. Al Griffin and Andre Johnson. A little NBA talk with the Sixers state of mind. No Sixers game tonight. We're going to get into some COVID issues later, but how you guys doing? Andre, what's going on, buddy?
Man, this is the contact trace edition of Half Court Heat. I'm doing good, fellas. I'm doing good. I'm ready to get into it.
I love it. I love it. Contact tracing. What's up, Al? How you doing, buddy?
Man, Andre was talking earlier, dude. We got to stay healthy, and hopefully, I was hearing something about that the Memphis had somebody, and that's why they're contract tracing with us. So hopefully, we stay clean, and they're just doing it, like they put just precautions. I hope so, because we can't afford. I want us to get healthy so we can get everybody going at the same time. I'm assuming Curry should be back this week coming, and we got to get rolling, get everybody on one track, know what positions, everything, how you want to play, where I need you to be, those type of things. We need to get rolling here, and all this going on is definitely not helping. Besides last night, but we'll talk about that later.
I completely agree, man. Completely agree. But let me ask you guys this, because I have to talk about this. We're going to start right off with a little heat. That's why it's called Half Court Heat, because something that bothers the hell out of me. You guys know how I'm wired a little bit by now. And I just, I mentioned about Ben Simmons being coddled like Carson Wentz. And I got to talk about this because it's annoying as hell to me. It really is.
Look at Andre's face.
Right. And I just want to throw it out there because I feel like, and I'm not saying this is going to be all about Ben, the hate on Ben, but it seems like no matter what, you have the same audience, right? You have Ben, the people who love Ben no matter what he does, and then you have the people that hate Ben no matter what he does. But when you want to be critical of Ben and be right in the middle, you're not allowed to be. And I don't understand that. And it's the same thing that was happening with Carson Wentz. It was like, listen, I said it before. I didn't hate Carson. I just didn't think he was getting the job done. Did I say I gave up on him? No. But then you have all
a lot of people did.
Carson, and you can't do stop it. Listen. Ben has got, Jarrell says it right here. He's reading my mind. Ben Simmons driving me crazy. They cannot win with his style of play. It takes at least two superstars to win in today's NBA. And Andre, I'm going to go right to you first, and I'm going to say right off at Jarrell's comment right here, because this is what bothers me. This NBA, we talked about it before, is built by a big three. We already see what happened with Harden going to Brooklyn. And for all the people that say, Harden can't win with Harden, did you watch the first game? Did you watch the first 10 minutes?
Kyrie wasn't out there though, too. Let's remind ourselves Kyrie wasn't out there. That's part of the guns that you have to worry about, meaning gunning, dribbling 18 seconds of the shot clock, and then now I want to pass.
So that's even scarier with no Kyrie. And he had 4 blocks. For everybody to listen, he played some defense. And to get back to the Ben thing, he's
a top 5 player.
He absolutely, 100%. Yeah. And the Ben thing that bothers me is, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. I think you're seeing his ceiling. It is what it is. I don't care about triple doubles. Ask Russell Westbrook where his triple doubles have gotten him so far. No rings, no wins. Okay, and that's my problem. When Joel goes out of the game, Andre, tell me I'm wrong here, but they still look lost. When Joel's not there, that offense is hurting, and Ben looks lost. He looked lost the other night, too indecisive. He doesn't know what he wants to do with the ball, and I think that's a problem.
It's a big problem. It's a big problem, and it's crazy because you guys both know that I am like the number one Ben Simmons supporter, right? But
Yes.
it is tearing me apart. Is tearing me apart because I look at Ben and I go, wow, this guy has the ball in his hands. He has the ball in his hands. And I said in the first show, Ben Simmons have to be the second leading scorer on the team. You got Tobias
Well, that's
and
not going to
Seth
happen, though,
both
Dre.
averaging more points than you are.
But that's not going to happen, Dre.
When you're the primary ball handler, it may not happen. But I'm gonna tell you this: it better. Or I don't have the answer for Ben. I'm gonna tell you right now. This guy is a phenomenal generational player. He's a 6'10" point guard. It's not like you're getting it. I mean, look around the league. Just look around the league. But for this to work, Ben Simmons have to be the second leading scorer on the team. They need to fix it, and they gotta fix it quickly. You got Seth Curry averaging 15 points a game. He hasn't even played. He hasn't even played. Ben, yeah, granted, Ben is giving you about 7 rebounds a game. To me, and I still don't think that's you're the primary ball handler. And the debacle that I saw the other day, I was like, wow, this isn't good. So he went from the triple double that I predicted. Then I was like, listen, I don't know if this is a mental chess game with this guy, with Maury, Doc, and Ben. Ben comes out right after the trade, records the triple double, right? Comes right back and resorted to the old. So we're like, yes, this is the Ben I'm talking about. Then turned right back around and resorted to the Ben that we complain about. See, to
But
me,
they killed them.
that
They
right
killed them
there
40 to
has
10
to be
points,
fixed.
though. They
No,
say, oh, it's a triple double, but it's
at
a
the end of the
10-point
day.
triple double. So
No, regardless. Listen, in my eyes, a triple double, yes, that means that a triple double is what it is. That means that you were part of every aspect of the game, offense and defense for the respective, obviously in regards to the rebounds with defense. But the triple double, to Tony's point, means nothing. Means nothing with 10 points, and you're the primary ball handler in a premier, quote unquote, elite point guard in the league. That is frustrating. That is beyond frustrating with me. Seth Curry, we need him back like you wouldn't believe. You got Shake Milton only averaging about 1 or 2 points less than Ben. It's like you
my
got
boy.
so that's 3
We talking about
players.
Shake.
Well, I'm just I'm talking stats, bro. The numbers don't lie. The numbers, men lie, women lie. The numbers don't, right? So I'm
Absolutely.
gonna tell you something. When you have those amount of players on the same team, and you have the premier 6'10", you see that number right there? Oh, wrong shoulder.
Irvin
That right
Magic.
there, 6'9" point guard, right? After Irvin Magic Johnson, who else was the point guard that tall? Who else? It was running it, and it was literally running up. It's a phenomenon. It's an anomaly. It's not the same. So when you got it, you have to do something with it. It's frustrating. So right now, I'm just riding with this roller coaster. You go from even tonight, people were like, "Oh, Ben's going to show up tonight." Well, we don't know what Ben's showing up. Just like with Carson, Tony, like you said, we didn't know what Carson was showing up.
Yeah.
We didn't know which one. The gunslinger, the second half Carson. We don't know if it's the first quarter Ben, the third quarter Ben. His percentage is weird because if you even look at the percentage of shots, and you know how they put the red dots in whether he's in the lane. Obviously, he only attempted two jump shots. He's averaging only 2 jump shot attempts a game at that. But the bottom line is this roller coaster that we on with Ben, we got to get off it, or they got to shut the amusement park down and like redo something, reshuffle the cards because it's wearing thin with me, and I'm still riding with. I'm not jumping ship because it's still my squad. I'm Sixers forever. But the bottom line is frustrating.
Very, very. I know, Al. Al, you got the same frustrations. I know it.
I have frustrations with him. First of all, he has 7 turnovers. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable having 7 turnovers. Was that last night? Come on, stop. And as a team, they had 22 last night. And I was talking to somebody on Twitter the other day. Last night, 2 of the last 3 possessions was turnovers, and that's what lost that game. You can't have that at the end of the game. That's inexcusable. There's all veterans out there except for the kid. So don't tell me that I have rookies out there and they didn't know where to be and all. Stop. That long half-court pass he tried to make to what's the name in the corner at the end of the game. You don't make that pass at the end of the game. You got to bring it up and run a play and get a good shot there. Not try to force a pass that far. I know he was open, but you can't force that. So I'm on the line getting murdered trying to defend him, but you can't at certain points. You can't. So I posted the other day that he had the 10, 12, or whatever that was, the triple-double, and people going to say he had a bad game. Well, he didn't have a bad game, but people killed him and said, oh, he should have had more points. That's not a real triple-double if you don't have enough points. I want him to have more points. But part of the problem is we have more scoring this year. So you have Curry that's going to score more than our 2-guard last year. Richard wasn't scoring with Curry is scoring. We got Green that's going to contribute. We got Tobias, and we got Joe. So you have more scoring in that starting lineup. And then now you got Shake coming off. I think he's averaging 15 points a game now. And I tweeted the other night, last night, that might be the sixth man of the year. So you got more scoring now. So I understand why his scoring is coming down because he's dishing it more. Now, I want him to be over 10 rebounds, and I want him over 10 assists a game. And I want those turnovers. I think he's like 3.9 a game. 3.8 right now. He's got to get that down. And I want him over 10 assists a game, and I want him minimum. I don't care what else is going on. I don't care if somebody hot. I want you minimum 15 a game, and then if you go over that some games, it is what it is. But you can't have 8, 10. That's inexcusable. That's inexcusable for you. You cannot have that where we're trying to go. Period.
I agree.
That's my boy, but you certain things is just inexcusable. I don't want to see, and if it keeps happening, him and Doc gotta have a talk. I don't want him to be soft. I need him to be what I need, what I expected out of Doc, which is to be hard on him and tell him reality, not come on, Ben. Like our old coach. It's okay. Do your thing. No, don't worry about them. No. Ben, we need a little bit more out of you.
We don't want Dr. Paul George Ben Simmons. I tell you that.
No.
We don't want to do that because the craziest thing that I'm about to tell you guys, and I don't even know if you guys know this, but I'm gonna tell you, it was really heartbreaking. Did you know? Obviously, we all know that Ben Simmons was an All-Star, right? Mm-hmm. So when's the last time a healthy All-Star doesn't even crack the top 50 players in scoring? Ben didn't even crack the top 50. 50. Joel is at around number 12. Ben's not even in the top 50.
Yeah.
Like, see, it's to me, it's just surface basic stuff. Like, it's surface basic stuff. Like, you're not even in the top 50 in scoring, bro. Like, you should be if he was numbered once again. Tobias is in the top 50.
Yeah,
Tobias in the top 50. And
let me ask you guys both a question.
Seth didn't crack it.
Let me ask you guys
Well,
both a
you're the
question.
second. You're the second, in my opinion, second best player on the team. Well,
Supposed to be.
supposedly, and
Right.
you still supposed to be, right? And you
Mm.
don't crack the top 50 players in scoring. You're not even in the top 50 players in scoring. Like
Let
that.
me ask you guys.
So to me, you have to worry about the scoring.
Let me ask you guys a
Go
question.
ahead.
If he took 10 to 12 shots a game, minimum 10, minimum. How many points would you think he would score?
If he took 10 shots a game,
Minimum.
I say he makes 40%. So he gets 6 points.
You know what? I didn't look that up. I was looking up a couple other things, but I wasn't looking up how many he's doing a game. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he could to have the points that we all want him to have, which is never going to happen because it's never going to be what the people really want him to be. He's never going to be what everybody wants him to be. It's not going to happen. It's not in him right this second. So what you got to think is getting between him and Doc coming up with a certain amount of shots that I want you to have per game. I think that's better than trying to say, I want you to score more. So, Ben, you're at 6 shots. I need you at 15. Something like that. Something in his brain in the third quarter, why aren't you shooting? I think last night, I don't think he even shot in the third quarter. You didn't have Ben. Why didn't you take a shot? You got to be. He was being aggressive, and he missed a couple. He's not going to the basket with authority like he was even last season. He's trying to lay it a little bit too much, which always annoyed me in the NBA. Going to the hoop and trying to lay it up. Go to the hoop and whop somebody over top of their head and then look at him. Because you're that big, you're that strong, that nobody's stopping you. So if you try to dunk, you're going to make it most times, and then you're going to get a foul. Go to the hoop with authority. That's what I want him to do. That laying it up, I think he missed 2 layups where it's spent off the rim. That's because you're trying to lay it up. Go to the hoop to try to dunk somebody's head in the basket. That's what I need you to do. So if you're driving, drive like that. And that will create more opportunities.
Yeah, let's level set this for a second.
That's what has to happen.
Let's level set. It has to happen. Tony, here's the deal. Right in the beginning of the show, you said, I don't care about the triple doubles. You know what? I did at first for him, right? For Ben. Because when you're being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. And that's where you got to be productive to average a triple double. This guy is playing averaging 30 minutes a game. You're on the floor almost the entire game. It's inexcusable to only average 13 points. The only category that even makes sense is that you're averaging about 9.5 rebounds a game, right? Mm-hmm. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I think he had 15 last night.
2 minutes a game. Yeah, but he had, yeah. I mean, but that's once again, that's the roller coaster we're on. Right? That's the roller coaster we're on because
he's going to definitely get more
almost 33 minutes a game.
He's going to get more rebounds too with JoJo out.
Ball handler. I think you hit the nail around the head. When Joel Embiid is out and he's not playing, the team looks lost. Yep. You need someone, but when you bring them young cats in and they're hungry, they're on the floor. Isaiah Joe looks great. Matisse Thybulle looks lost. We got to figure it out.
We got a couple good all right shots last night without hesitation, which I like better.
I'm talking about overall. I'm talking about over all the games. Over all the games. So there's pieces that Doc has to figure out fairly quickly, and I think a lot of it is this whole everybody's playing under the same conditions. Everybody's playing under like they're either at their court or what have you. no fans, the whole nine. So I don't buy the bubble thing. I don't buy everybody's playing under the same conditions.
True.
What I don't get is that you have a starting five, a bona fide starting five that gets the entire city excited. We're not going to talk about Adam Silver and how he pulls the plug when he feels like it and all those things, but he gets the whole city excited. We go 7-2. Then we start breaking down because of this player's out or that player's out. And now we're tossing everybody overboard. Well, we got to be careful because remember beginning to say I said when Seth Curry starts, he's really the threat on that perimeter. It seems like these guys are not even. Danny Green's a heck of a shooter, but it seems like the teams that are scouting us, even in these early games, are going, hey, listen, run out on him, but make sure you collapse right back down in the paint.
Right.
Because he's not hitting the shots. Now, he showed up the other day. I mean, he showed up the one game with the 9 threes. They did everything they needed to get. They did everything to get him that 10th three. And possibly the game was already decided.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the game was already decided.
No, I'm reading this
Bottom line
guy's
is,
comment
you
there.
can't get us all excited and worked up. And this dude is playing 32, 33 minutes a game, and we're not getting the production. He's being busy, but he needs to be more productive. Because I don't even know what the shooting percentage is, but I guarantee you is not good at all right now.
No. Well, here's my issue, and there's a ton of comments. Listen, everybody, I appreciate it. I'm putting them up. We'll get through. Thank you all for the support, checking in. We much appreciate it. One thing I want to say, I'm going to get to someone. So Jarrell says publicly, Doc says he doesn't care if he shoots. I really hope something else is being said behind closed doors. Now, what I will say to that is I don't care if he shoots either. The problem is I've been saying this for the last 2 years. He needs to score. He doesn't need to shoot. He needs to score. And to what Andre and Al are both saying, and what I've been saying, he needs to finish at the rim. He needs to take it strong to the hole. He needs to stop worrying about finger rolling the ball, and he needs to slam it down with authority. This is what he needs to do. Now, the other thing I will say, the problem is, and Andre, I get it. We both said it. We talked about when Seth Curry, we didn't realize that Seth Curry was going to be such a different figure, right? He was going to have so much space for us on the floor. But what I will say is, it's amazing to me because when I look around the NBA, even a team like Utah, and I look at Utah and I say, okay, they got Gobert, they got Conley, they got Donovan Mitchell. Any one of those guys, any one of those cats can score whenever they need to and take a game over. We have Joe and we have Tobias. And when one of those cats gets D'd up, Ben's not a threat. Ben's supposed to be our number 3. He's supposed to actually be our number 2, right? We're all talking about Joe and Ben. That's great. But Ben's not a threat, which means we can't have a big 3, which means we can't compete for the ultimate prize, in my opinion. I don't see how this ever gets fixed with Ben.
I don't know about that. I get everybody, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. It's over already. Don't even play the rest of the seasons. The Nets are going to win the East. Calm down. When we're healthy, and I want to see us play 10 to 15 games fully healthy, and that will tell us what. That's why I was kind of hoping that the Nets, Boston coming up, and a couple other games would have told me a lot, and then all of the COVID start hitting. So, but I need 10 to 15 games, everybody healthy, and then that will tell us where we're at. As far as your point of with Ben, unfortunately, you're right. He's not what we needed him to be for scoring wise if somebody else is down that particular night. But we do have more help than we ever had. We can actually count on some type of points coming off the bench now. Every night. Max is going to give you something. Shake is giving you way more than you even thought you were going to get, dropping 20s and 30s. So we got Mike coming off. Cork was actually going to play tonight. before they canceled the game. Cork is coming back. Hope you get a little bit out of him. I know everybody gonna say Cork can't. He's not consistent. But when he's on, he's on, and when he's not. So you're going to get something out of it. It's better to have more shooters than not. So we have more help. So I can't say we have no shot because how do I know? I don't know where we. I don't know how good we can be until we play enough to know how good we can be. I'm just saying, oh, they got Harden, is over. No, I'm not handing them there. I'm not saying
I agree.
Harden is over. I don't just believe in that. It's a lot more to it than that. It's a whole lot more to it than that. Kyrie is going to disturb whatever Durant and Harden got right now. Whenever Kyrie told him that he's not playing again tomorrow or something. Like, give me a break, dude. Like, he doesn't want to play. So how is he going to come back and create a good situation? It can't. He's not. So I don't say just because they have the big three, it's over. That's why I want to make sure everybody just
Kyrie. Yeah, everybody calm down. Take a sip of water, right? Take a sip of water.
Right. Or your favorite beverage.
I'm gonna tell you this. Or your favorite beverage. Yeah. So I have to. This is weird. I hate when my wife do this. When she says I agree, but I disagree, right? So, but I'm about to do it anyway. In today's NBA, there's not, and the way the makeup is, you're not going to win an NBA championship without a big three, without a three. In today's NBA, you're not, unless you're the Lakers with LeBron and AD, and you can put anybody around them and go far, right? But the way that we purposely,
well, if the Clips win, they don't have a big three.
If the Clippers?
Yeah, they don't have a big three.
But they have a big two that's bigger than our big two, right?
100%. Well, on paper, not the Paul George that shoot 3 for 15.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me?
No.
Hold on.
Of course. You don't even need to say it.
Come on, man.
But I'm just saying, in the playoffs, that's not joking. I can't explain. You can't tell me that you lose a 3-1 lead. I don't care if you playing in Japan, Florida, bubble. It's inexcusable for those two guys to let a 3-1 lead collapse and you lose that. And I don't care if they had all the games in Denver. I don't care. The altitude is no excuse. So Paul George got to show me something this year.
Yeah, I'm not a big Paul.
I mean,
I'm not a Paul
I
George
get it.
guy, though.
I get it. Understand. Rich second, and he's got a good point. Again, problem is, can Embiid stay healthy? He wants to already knee and back problems. I mean, listen, we know that. Now, me, honestly, I'm not worried about this latest knee issue. I think this was more like we want Joe to rest. He played. I honestly, he could have had a black and blue mark on his knee. I don't know. I don't think it was a big deal.
This is the playoffs. If this is the playoffs, he 100% would have played.
Right. But his health is definitely going to be in question. I mean, we talked off air about Zion and can he establish himself to stay healthy? Same thing with Joel. He looks good right now. How long term? What is it going to be? And again, let's take this conversation to that next level because, and again, this is half court heat. The reason why is we're going to go half Sixers, half NBA. This is the hot topic right now. But what I want to ask you guys is when you look at this is why I'm so on demand. This is why I'm so worried. The window of opportunity with Joel Embiid, who was bar none your number one player on this team. So we don't have 5 years with Joel Embiid. Sorry. In my opinion, we have 3. Okay, so in 3 years, if we're going to sit here and say, all right, we're going to bag this year, no big deal. It's a dock year. We're getting it together. And we're going to have next year. Okay, now we already lost a year. Now we're at next year. And we can say whatever we want about Brooklyn, but KD, That nobody could tell me that they thought
Balling.
KD was going to be shooting 28 to 30 a night and look like he never even tore an Achilles right now because I don't even think he's on the way back, which is crazy.
Right.
And then you add Harden in the mix, and if Kyrie could get over the earth is flat and he could get over out of his own personal dilemmas, I mean, that team is scary good. And that's what we have to worry about. I get so tired of waiting. I understand that you have to wait for things to come together. But it scares me.
You're Philly. You're exactly what I hear all day, every day. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, especially Facebook. People go crazy. I need it now, or I'm gonna explode if I can't get it now. I don't want to wait anymore. I know. You said Embiid has 3 years. He'll be only 29 though.
Yeah, but with him, in my opinion, he's got 3 good years left, man. After this year, I think I was capping him out at 5 last year.
What about in this body? What about in this body? In this body, if he can stay in this body, he can stay at this prime level for 5 years. Because again, he's not pounding every single night like Shaq. He's inside and outside, so he can last longer because he's inside and outside. He turns that heat on where he dunks on somebody when he wants to. Shaq had to do that because he didn't have anything else. He got pounded all day, all night. So I think he can last longer because he can step out and hit that J and then go down low and then do a spin move Akeem and dunk on you backwards. He can do both. So I think he can last a lot longer because of that.
Yeah, but it said a lot about Joel. It said a lot about Joel though when he took over that game the other day, and he looked extremely spent.
Beast
But he
mode.
took over the game, but he can't do. See, that's where the conditioning comes in. We like the window is really small with Joel because if that guy could do that every night, he's not Greek freak conditioned. We know that he's not LeBron conditioned, but he needs to get to those levels of conditioning to be able to bang and take over that game. That game that he took over the other night told me a lot about this guy. About if he could do, he cannot do that on a consistent basis.
What was that? 3 half. What was that? Was that halfway through the third, all the way to the rest of the game?
For the rest of the game, that he completely took it over. Yeah. And my issue with that is, and the proverbial, if the playoffs started today. Well, if the playoffs started today, we'd be playing the Brooklyn Nets. Like, yeah. I mean, so you got to really go, whoa. Well, are we? Well, we are deep enough to
we would run with them. You know what? Because Brooklyn's record isn't that good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're 4, they're 5. I mean, the 4 always plays a 5. So the bottom line is, so the biggest question is, can we beat the Brooklyn Nets? Because you got Drew Holiday balling out all of a sudden. He got his new. That's my point. Drew Holiday and just to shift gears. Milwaukee is balling, y'all. Milwaukee is really balling. Like Middleton and Drew Holiday have stepped it up. Milwaukee is balling. Celtics, you never know what Celtics team's going to come in and play against us. Yes, we beat them in the earlier in the year. I get that.
Timber got hurt again today.
A healthy Sixers team. Got hurt again. Yeah, but here's where we have a shot. We have a shot with a full, healthy Sixers team. That's where the hope and the faith and all the excitement is coming from. A banged up Sixers team, we have no shot.
No.
And it shows. Joel's out, we lose.
Yeah, listen.
It's that simple.
That's a problem. I love Jarrell's on point tonight with his comments. I can feel the camaraderie between me and him right now. I mean, listen again. Look. Listen, tanking for years. Embiid out the first 2 years with injuries. Ben out his rookie year. The Fultz fiasco, man. I'm not patient at all, especially with Ben. Right, and this is here's the issue. I will say this again. I'm going to say it loud for everybody to hear. When we tanked. When we were tanking, we were told we were tanking for multiple championships. That was told to us. Multiple championships. So again, that's why we're not patient. And because we were in the beginning, okay? Well, at least we got to a point. But guess what? At the end of the day, if we don't win a championship, we don't win a chip, this is all for nothing. It's a failure. And this is going to be listen, my heart can't take that, man. Can't take it anymore.
That's true. I mean, you're 100% true.
Brother,
it's not that, I can't.
Are you kidding me? I
can't even try to explain it. It's 100% right.
So what are we, like 2 years from like 40th anniversary of a championship?
How long has it been since we actually had a real team? 3 years? Real players?
So
no.
Has it been 3 years now?
No.
That we actually had a team?
No, it's been 20.
No. I'm talking about when we really started getting real players and we stopped the BS with the tanking.
You know what?
It's been like 3 years, right?
Al, I'm sorry, bro. Listen, I love you to death, Al, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's been 20.
No. I get the championship part. I get the championship.
The last time we actually, just think about it. Like the last time we actually had players, and I don't even want to say his name. Andre Iguodala was here.
AI or AG.
Yeah, I mean that's the last time we actually had players. And he went on and we got a ring. Like
the old AI.
That's why that's where my frustration. Like I was saying, like I was trying to say, are we like 2 years from a 40-year anniversary from a championship? 40 years. We're like the Cleveland Browns.
Wow. Think about that.
Do we have to wait another 50 years? Think of it.
Did you have to put it like that?
50 years?
Did you have to say
I
it
didn't
like
have
that?
to, but I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Listen, that's the reality of it, and they keep selling us this dream that we're going to get this, the tanking. That gentleman that made the comment, man, he really struck a nerve with me too, because I'm reading this comment and I'm saying, yo, we are doing some stupid stuff, tanking and votes and this and that, and it's like this is crazy. This is like my kids never experienced a championship with the Sixers, and they love the Sixers. It's like, come on, man. Our fan base, we deserve better than this. We deserve better than this.
We definitely
82, 83.
We definitely do. We do. And again, we've kind of gone through it all. I mean, the issues are there. We hope that these issues do not rear their ugly heads once the end of the season comes. And when we get in the playoffs, we don't know what's going to happen. I still think that Morey is actively looking at ways to upgrade this team, even if that does mean trading Ben Simmons. We shall see. I don't know. But let me ask you guys something again, because this is an all NBA show, and I want to get to some NBA issues before, we end this show. But, we talked about James Harden. But I want to talk about Toronto a little bit. And the reason why I want to talk about Toronto a little bit, because it lets me segue into a point about when Toronto won with Kawhi. And I seen a story out today. I don't know if you guys seen it, but people come up with things about, I forget the writer's name on CBS. He's talking about, trades that would make sense. And he mentioned a trade, and you know where I'm going now, of Kyle Lowry coming to Philly, coming home, okay? And, for a package centered around Tobias Harris. Now, here's my issue. Number one, Tobias is balling right now. Right. Tobias is the least of my worries at this moment. Right? I don't know what Kyle does for me if you bring Kyle here and send Tobias out. I think we're almost exactly the same team. Okay, in my opinion.
It's not going to help us.
Right. But the reason why I bring it up is because when Toronto decided to make the move for Kawhi, we all knew that they were looking at a window. They knew they weren't going to re-sign Kawhi. They knew that they'd get a ring. And listen, we could talk about Game 7, right?
So they hit the jackpot. It worked.
Exactly. And my point is, I'm willing to do that right now because we've been through the build, we've been through the struggle, man. We've been through it all. So now, if somebody knocks at my door and says, I'll be honest with you, if they say, because Bill brought it up, we can't compete with the Nets without Bradley Beal. Let's just talk real fast. Okay. If Washington calls and they want Ben and they want Maxey for Bradley Beal, I'm 100% sign me up because I think Bradley Beal gets the job done. So now our big three is Beal, Tobias, and Embiid. And I'm going for it this year. So at that point, right? At that point, as much as I love Maxey, I want to go for the chip, man. I want to win now. I don't know how much longer we have. I honestly don't. In this league, everybody seems to be making these big moves except us. And if these super teams continue to be constructed without involving the Philadelphia 76ers, we're in trouble because we're always going to be one step behind. And we have to make a move eventually. And listen, God bless Sam Cassell. I hope Sam Cassell can work with Ben Simmons, but I still think the ceiling is now. The ceiling is what it is. You're not going to see anything different or anything better because, guys, I know you guys have either coached or been around the Pee Wee game for a long time. And sometimes you have kids that their mentality is one thing and they don't change no matter how. So what you do is you say, you know what? You're not going to change. That's okay. We're going to work around what you do well. That's great. But the problem is when what you do well is dishing the ball, but you're supposed to be the number 2 scorer in the team, we have a major conflict. So that's the problem right now. I don't think he can change. I don't. So let me ask you guys something. We'll end that. Let's talk about COVID for a minute. And we'll bring this right up because, listen, obviously Al brought it up in the beginning. We see what's happening. Thank God the contact tracing looks like it's going to work. Things are, things are progressing. But my issue is I almost feel like we're getting to a point where we're on that fine line, right? We're on the thin, icy line. It's going to break that. We're going to have to either pause the season or back to a bubble. So I want to get your guys' opinion. So Al, I'll start with you this time. What do you think do you think that we will actually see a pause this year or go back to a bubble? Or do you think we'll be able to get through an entire year with all these missed games?
I was just thinking that I think I've read somewhere where there was some crazy number that I didn't know that was positive throughout the whole league. And I was like, it's that many positives right now or that many people out at one time? I'm thinking like, wow, that's a crazy number. So it makes me think this is the middle of January. If we still go into February like this, I could see him when he gets to the All-Star break. He like, let's take a long. That's exactly why he didn't announce the second half schedule. I think he had this built in that if I got to pause, I'll pause at the All-Star break, and then I'll wait a month, let everybody get healthy and back to normal and 100%, and then restart again. So I think if it goes into January, even if it goes into the end of January, I think he might say, you know what, time out. Let's calm everything down. Let's get everybody back to full health, and then let's start maybe, like hypothetically, let's start in early March or April, whatever he got to do to make sure, because this is starting to get ridiculous. I mean, it's starting to be 5 games canceled a night. That's not helping anything. Our game was supposed to have been on NBA TV. That hurts the package. They ain't trying to hear that. So all of these things are happening. I don't know if we can survive if it keeps happening like this. It has to start slowing down for him to want to keep it going. If it doesn't, he's going to have to stop it because it's just getting ridiculous. If half your schedule is canceled, what is the point? It just doesn't make any sense every night. I mean, Boston just played today. They missed like 4 straight games. 4 straight, which is another story that, we just getting our one and Boston, they just took care of them. Oh, Boston, let's make sure that they don't get any losses on this without any players. No, but anyway, so those things it's getting ridiculous. You can't miss 3 straight games. That's inexcusable on the schedule. So something's going to have to be done, and I think the All-Star break is when he's going to do it.
I agree. What do you think, Andre?
I just think we got really, really, man, and I'm a huge Adam Silver fan too, which is interesting. I think we got to just pay attention to what hat this guy's going to put on. Is he going to put on the Adam Silver, I'm the commissioner of the sponsorships and television and cable, or is it the Adam Silver, I'm the commissioner of the players? Because what's going to happen is, to Al's point, and I agree with his assessment, you can't miss this many games and expect to have some type of normalcy in a situation where nothing's normal right now at all. Because here's the deal: at the end of the day, if you have to reschedule a game here, maybe a game there, that's different. But when you're rescheduling 6, 7 games in one conference and another 6, 7 games in another conference, that I don't care who you are, that and what league you're in, that's a bit much. That's too much to continue on of some type of, oh, we had it all together before the season started. Now it's starting to slowly chip away and crumble apart. I agree with Al's assessment. I got a funny feeling we're going to go to the All-Star break, and it's going to be reassessed, and it's going to be a longer break than we think. I think it's going to be before if they resume.
I hope that because you're right, because he could instead of saying March, he'd be like, you know what, let's wait till May. He could do that. He could, because May more vaccines will be out there. By May, he might be able to do the league wide, everybody get a vaccine, because by then it will be enough that he can do the whole league, and then he won't have to worry about it at that point.
You gotta remember, it's two sides of this. It's a business side and there's a player side, and we both know. To your point, Al, which I thought was really really poignant, is that NBA TV game that was important. We're in a league that's already losing revenue, obviously from the fandom and the money that fans and other vendors that are inside these arenas, they're losing tons of money. So when you switch it to that, okay, so we're not on the NBA TV game. However, these big market teams are all of a sudden on TNT all the time. Like you can't miss a Lakers game, and tomorrow is going to be another three games in a row of
it's one of those
big
games.
market teams.
I heard one of those games is getting canceled too. One of those games tomorrow are getting canceled. That's supposed to be on national TV. That's a problem.
Yeah, it is. And if you're the Adam Silver that's always been the Adam Silver and making these decisions, you have a major issue on your hand. And now we're really going to see, I think it is tough because you did a great job with the bubble. You did a great job with the bubble.
I agree.
So now that you're not in the bubble, now it's like, okay, this is a little more difficult than we thought. So we need to hear from him. We actually really, and I know it sounds wild that you're like, yo, where's the commissioner on this? Right? You got the Players Association, you got players, you got owners, GMs, everybody else is talking, but we need to hear what the commissioner are going to say. Come on, commish, step up, Adam, do your thing.
Yeah, he definitely needs to step in, and I think unfortunately we were expecting, and I don't want to throw this this kind of haterade out there, but I think we were expecting that the players, 100% of the players, would be disciplined enough to do what they need to do, and I'm not going to blame this all on the players, but maybe the protocols that they kind of lightened up on. I mean, they were, I'm reading it. I don't know about you guys, but I almost lost my mind when they said, "Oh well, we're not going to let them allow guests in their hotel room anymore." Like, whoa! Like,
how are you doing that anyway?
Right, exactly. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Like, listen, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't have been letting that happen. And that's a big deal. You don't know what those people are a carrier of. And unfortunately, you got too lax. Unfortunately, that's what happened. They got too lax. And when they were in a bubble, they were very disciplined because we all talked about it. We all said that the NBA and the NHL did things the right way. Major League Baseball and the NFL kind of didn't do things the way we thought they should have. And again, now the NBA kind of took a back seat now because now they seem lost. And now, like you said, Andre, Mr. Silver needs to pick up the sticks here, needs to come correct And, he needs to save us right now, because if not, like outside, listen, we could get, if we don't get this vaccine and this continues to be a bigger problem, now you're going to talk about pushing back playoffs. We don't want to do that. We want to finally get to some normalcy. Right. And if we don't kick it in the ass right now, we're going to have a major problem.
Then next year it'd be, instead of being 72 games, maybe next year it'd be 60 games, because everything got pushed back so far, and then we'll never catch up. I mean, it's just going to be a cycle. Today's the 17th. I mean, I don't even know, because of this craziness, and we even want to. He might get so annoyed, he might stop before we even get to the end of the month, and he might just be like, "All right, I gotta stop it." Because and just like you said, what? Huh? I gotta tell you, don't bring your girlfriend to the room? What are you talking about? You don't know that already, dude? You can't get side pieces coming through. That's not gonna work.
Exactly.
You gotta know that already coming in, that you're gonna have to give up sacrifices. That's why you see that big number inside your bank account every Tuesday or Wednesday. That's your sacrifice of you not seeing your girlfriend when you want to, and having the girl come to the hotel. What do you mean? We had to tighten up and not let people come to the hotel. Why was I ever in the agreement? That boggled my mind when I heard that.
Me too.
And we were talking about it a couple weeks ago when the Eagle player, he got sent home and released because he let some chick in the room. But he knew he wasn't supposed to do that. That was already in their rules. I don't know why it's not in the NBA, but that was in their rules. And immediately they sent him home on a plane, and then they released him before our game was even over that day. I mean, I don't get it, but they knew what they had to do, and they know what they should have been doing. And part of it is probably way too relaxed. Way too relaxed.
Absolutely.
Talking about going to the store. Players shouldn't be going to the store. You should have people going to the store for you.
Yes.
So tell me you got to go to the supermarket and get groceries or no. You're too important to be going out. Let the wife do. Nah, I don't even want the wife to do it. Let the maid do it, because you got to keep the bubble. It's got to be a bubble in your house. It's got to be a bubble in your house, in your room, in a bubble in your hotel room, and just you got to keep it tight. I heard players in the NFL tell me, I can't even see my kids and family members for the whole season because I wanted to keep it tight. And if you looked at the Eagles, they didn't have many cases, so the Eagles did pretty good with that. So you got to keep that tight. And if you didn't know that going into this season, then that's why we have this problem.
I agree. I do. I definitely agree. Drew from Twitch checking in says year 4, Ben hasn't evolved by now. He never will. Kind of what we were talking about in the beginning. The sentiments are there. That's my feelings. People feel a little differently, but we shall see. I get it. First year coaching staff. We'll see what happens, but I'm just scared that, it's not going to happen. Also says, like with your agent telling you that you're about to be traded, he still doesn't try to score more. Again, he is who he is. That's the issue to me. He is who he is, man. Mm-hmm. And I just think we're seeing the best of Ben. May be wrong. I don't know. But let me ask you guys this.
Can I pray not?
Yeah. I know. I hear you. I'm with you, man. We all need to pray a lot for this to happen. But we talked about we talked about doing some fun things in the show. We talk about all NBA. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot as we close this out. Tons of great conversation. We're trying to keep this to about an hour. I think it's a really good point for everybody to listen in their free time. Let us know what you think. Drop us a subscription on the Heat Ratio Sports YouTube page. Give it all 3 of us a follow. Follow Heat Ratio Sports, you name it. But let me ask you guys this. We always say, what guy would you add? Because we're always talking about, we're keeping Tobias and we're keeping Joel and we're going to trade Ben. So let me ask you guys this. Let's pretend, because I think we're all in agreement now, that this team runs through Joel. And right when he ain't there, we have a problem. So we have Joel right now. You're Daryl Morey. Okay, we're playing with Monopoly money, boys. We're not even, there ain't no fictitious trade. No, we're playing with Monopoly money right now. And I say to you, you have Joel. And I'll build the bench, but you can get 2 guys to play with him. Anybody. We're going to start your team on the Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to keep the coaching staff. We'll keep the bench the way it is right now. But we'll take Ben and Tobias away. We'll keep Joel. And you guys can add any 2 players you want for us to go and compete for the NBA championship. So, Andre, I'll put you on the spot first. 2 guys. Who are you taking to go on this team to go with Joel?
Are they trade eligible?
Right now,
Or
no.
just any
Right now,
two guys in the league?
The whole active NBA roster right now.
Not even a question.
I said
KD and LeBron. It's not even a question.
KD.
Well, that would be unstoppable.
It's KD and LeBron.
Think about that.
It's not even. Listen, it's KD, LeBron, and Embiid. It's not even.
Imagine the high low with AD and Embiid, and then the passing to LeBron to both of them. Oh my!
I thought you were going to give me something hard, because if it was somebody that's on the table right now, I'll take that 34-point average in Bradley Beal right now.
How about
34 points?
Right.
How about doing it like
here's
this?
the thing, though. Here's the thing. That's easy. Because I think we would all do that, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't listen. I'm going to go against you. I don't agree with your 2 guys.
How about doing it like this? Pick a player in the position that they are. So a position that Tobias plays, and a position that Ben plays, or close to what Ben plays, and then it make it a little easier.
Well, then,
I would say LeBron and AD too.
Give me Luka and Dame Lillard.
Okay.
Give me Luka and Dame Lillard.
I like that.
Because Dame is a dog. Dame
100%.
Logo Dame, when Logo Dame come to play, he's ready to fight every night. But he has that under control, unlike Russ. Russ doesn't have it under control. Dame has
no control with Russ.
Under control.
It's never been in control for Russ.
See,
but those
I'm
are my
not
two.
even.
Those are my 2.
I like
Monopoly money. Those are my 2.
But then you don't have a forward. Who's your forward? Because you need somebody to be a forward.
I said LeBron.
No. You said
LeBron.
You want LeBron and who? And Dame?
Originally, he said pick the 2 players that can go with him. I said LeBron and KD. I mean, it.
Okay.
I put LeBron at the forward. But, hey, listen, you can put KD at the 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter.
So.
Keep Joel at the 5.
Myself, I would go. I would probably if I keep it the way you're talking about, like I was suggesting, I would probably do something like realistically, I would say Lillard. I was going to say Bill. I would go Lillard because you could do the point plus the shooting. And then I would go, if you stay with the forward, then I would go like I don't want to. You couldn't go A. That's too easy. I would go like a forward. I don't know about the forward. I guess you would probably have to go AD because you could go to outside, let AD just do his thing inside if he wants to, outside if he wants to, and then you got Dame Dollar. He's just going to do his thing either way, and he's going to get the ball down low. I probably would do that. I mean, if realistically, I got a question for you. Would you ever trade? I had him written down. Would you make a deal for Zach LaVine for Tobias?
Well, wait. I'll answer that in a second. Because I cannot believe that I gave you guys the entire NBA roster, and pick Steph Curry as your point guard. How do you not take Steph? I mean, listen to me. How is that not even possible right now?
Because you kept Embiid. Because you kept
What?
Embiid. With Steph
Okay.
on the
I
court,
don't want to pass Embiid.
Steph on the court. No, when Steph on the court, you're gonna have Embiid running up, and Embiid's gonna get gas. They're gonna be pulling Embiid out
Wait a
every
minute.
5 minutes.
Wait a minute. So
I don't know about that.
wait a minute. Hold on. So Embiid's not going to get gas with Dame?
Dame is a fast break by itself.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So to me, I take Kawhi and I take Steph. And
Okay.
I'm going Steph, Kawhi, Joel, and I think it's unstoppable. And it's funny here. Our boy Dave Check said Tony goes Steph. He knew I was going Steph. Absolutely. But he's the best shooter in the game right now, bar none. Bar none. Best shooter in the game.
All right, I'm gonna make this one point. I'm gonna make this one point about the difference between Lillard and Steph. Okay,
Size.
Steph, you are okay. They get Steph inbounds the ball. He brings it up. You are shook if you think he's going to pull up a three because it's almost automatic, right? Lillard, you have no clue what he's going to do. You have no clue. He can pull up from half court, from the three. He can pull up from 30 feet, or he may penetrate on you. Yes, Steph's a good penetrator. I get it. But he's a good penetrator facing the basket. Lillard is just unpredictable. Steph, you say, okay, this guy, we're gonna play perimeter defense on him almost the entire game. The same way the Cavaliers did, and how they came back from that 3-0 when they came back and won the chip in 17. It's the same. I don't think Steph's game hasn't changed from when he blew us away with three. When he changed the game.
I get it.
Those are my two different. That's it. That's the only point I'm making.
And you know what? I love both of those guys. I do. Dame. I love Dame like I love Baker. But at the end of the day, I love Baker. So
I know where that analogy
comes from. On this team, Steph Curry's the guy. So let's get back to what Andre was saying. We'll end that out on that because we'll talk about Zach LaVine real fast, and we'll talk. Bill wants to know, what do you think of Randall from the Knicks if no Beal happens? So again, I think that we're definitely on the road of making another change, and I don't know. I don't go after Julius Randle at all. My number one target to me is Bradley Beal, and if Bradley Beal doesn't happen, Zach LaVine has to happen. I would do that in a heartbeat because he gives you more, and we talked about that at the beginning of the show. It's crazy because there's where the triple double thing veers its ugly head, in the sense that people get so fixated on stats and these triple doubles, but here's the thing. Zach LaVine will be better on this team than Ben Simmons. And guess what? Zach LaVine's not doing triple-double, right? But what he's doing is he's shooting from all over the floor, and he's a legit scorer, something that we don't have.
Bro, Zach LaVine is averaging 28 points a game.
Right.
He's averaging 28 points a game. The three people we just talked about is in the top 5 leaders in scoring in the NBA. You can't argue with that. That was my frustration at the beginning of the show with Ben. It's like, dude, you need to be up there. And then when you look at the games, you go, is this guy better than Ben? Dude,
I hear that all day, every day on Facebook.
Yeah.
All day, every day. Everybody's better than Ben. The coffee guy that serves coffee at Dunkin' Donuts better than Ben. But the thing I was telling somebody the other day, because they was asking me about LaVine, I was like, he's very good. The differences between him and getting Beal are the packages, the trade packages. LaVine only making like 19. Bradley Beal's making 29. So you would have to get up to that cap number to be able to do a Bradley Beal, where LaVine, you might be able to, because it's Chicago and they're kind of nutty, you might be able to do a player and a lot of draft picks with them and keep your roster, where unless you do Tobias in that deal or Ben, you're going to have to give up a lot to get Bradley Beal. So the packages or the trade packages are the thing. You can't just say, I want to trade for this person because of the NBA rules. You got to be pretty close to their number to be able to do it. And only Ben and Tobias have that number, unless they be stupid enough to take Danny Green for a 16 and then a couple other people, which it might, because Danny Green doesn't have an expiring contract, which attracted us. So you can put some packages together. Washington would have to be willing to do it. And how greedy would they want to be to give up Bradley Beal? And you got to figure they're going to want. They just seen what Harden got, so they're going to want some type of package like that.
No, without a doubt. Now here's the thing.
We got Danny Green in the comments.
Yeah, right. Well, here's the thing. Danny Green, you make a good point because he has an expiring contract, right? He has an expiring contract. That's a good point. Terrence Ferguson is an expiring contract. Right? They mean a ton in the NBA. People don't even think about that, right?
That's the people that don't know basketball don't know those things are very important.
Exactly. They're huge. And they have the trade exception as well. So there's so many things on the table right here. But Ben, to me, it's Maxey, it's 2 first-round picks, and it's probably Danny Green and Terrence Ferguson in order to get a deal done for Zach LaVine. And you're probably going to have to take somebody from the Bulls as well to go with Zach LaVine.
They don't want them. They want you to throw them in the deal, yeah.
Which is fine. Because in my opinion, that's a win now move. That's still a win now move. That gets you right up to that Milwaukee and Brooklyn level.
And it's telling me that they have no interest. You don't let Zach LaVine get to his last year of his deal and you did not re-up him. So it's 100% something's going to happen. It's whether he's going to be in a Sixer uniform or somebody else's uniform, because they don't wait this long not to sign him and then wait to the end of the year and be like, all right, you know what, come back. No. You don't wait that long to do that.
And the funny thing is with Zach, you make a good point, because you haven't even heard whispers of it to go. You haven't heard anything.
Very quiet in Chicago. I mean, he's been balling every night. Every night I look at the Sports Center or anything, any type of highlights. Zach LaVine, 28. Zach LaVine, 38. Zach LaVine this. Zach LaVine that. And I'm like, and they still haven't came to, like, you would have heard, how 100% you would have heard a little whisper, hey, they offered him this and he said no or whatever. You haven't heard zero. So they must be here a little annoyed with them, because, everybody's got paid over the summer and they didn't offer him anything.
Yeah, and he worked his way back from an ACL injury as well. And Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine's a guy that we just thought was a dunker. He's elevated his game. He's worked on his game. This is everything. Right? I mean, this isn't the Zach LaVine in the dunk contest with Aaron Gordon. Okay, we're talking. This kid's legit right now, and he's in his prime. So I'm very intrigued. Listen. You'll never hear me say another thing again about the Sixers if we get Ben, if we give Ben away for Beal or Zach. I'm sorry, you'll make Ziggs all happy, man.
I agree, but I'll tell you one thing: it makes me think that the Sixers are way better than we think they are. Because see, I always go the glass is half full.
Yeah, man.
The fact that we were like, oh, we want to win now, and we knew that we felt that the Harden trade. We felt that the Harden trade would have put us in a position to win now. The fact that we're still in a position to win now and still be able to make a move to be in win now mode is a great problem to have right now for Daryl Morey. This guy,
that's true.
I don't think it's over. I think he's still moving. I think the gift and the curse was that news coming out about Ben was on the trading block. With possibly Maxey or Thibault or whatever combination Morey had mixed up in it. But I guarantee you, the fact that we're in a position that we can still win now with the certain moves and the decline in play of Ben Simmons is a tough spot to be in right now. It's a tough spot to be in, but a good place to be. We're talking about winning now. We're not talking about a process. We're not talking about rebuilding stages and all this other craziness. We're talking about winning now. And that's a great place to be as a Sixer fan. It's just frustrating when you know that your allegedly second best player on the team is not even in the top 50 in scoring.
It's a great
saying that, please.
That's
a great point, though, Andre. That's a great point to get us out of here. I love it, man. Glasses half full. And listen, I'm being spoiled. I know we're all being spoiled. We want to win. That's all. We passionate. We're Philly. We passionate. But again, talking about passion, please give us a follow at Heat Ratio Sports. Tomorrow night, Monday night, we debut a brand new show again. It is called Fairway to Heaven. They will be talking about PGA all night long for Jason Sullivan, Phil Stiefel, two very educated guys when it comes to the land of golf. Tuesday night, Heat Ratio Live. Wednesday night, Fantasy Firebox. Thursday night, Flyer and Ice. Friday night, College Flashpoint. And Sunday is Half Court Heat. A great 6 days a week, working on 7. We'll get there, I promise. But for all the support, everybody listening to us, really appreciate it. Give us a follow. All 3 of our personal accounts at Heat Ratio Sports, on YouTube at Heat Ratio Sports. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you next Sunday.